to explore, but it's going to take a while to generate, but it's fine. So yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. I have Revim right here with me that is taking note, and I have something on my other screen so I can keep track of the questions. And I'm going to try to read your comments and stuff. Hey, your daughter's watching as well, so hello and welcome to Menyr. Soon you'll be able to play with it. It is kid-friendly. Multiplayer first pass still possible in September. It doesn't look like it. I think Vince is in the chat. He can confirm. I think it's been pushed 1 month, and the reason is because we wanted to implement the next generation of terraforming for next month, and so it's going to take a lot of our resources, but it's going to improve greatly anything world building, and then we're gonna move to multiplayer. So it's gonna take like a few weeks delay, not too much. We don't want to push multiplayer too much, obviously, because you want to play with your friends, you have your guest seats and stuff. But also we kind of want to tackle the world building to a certain degree before we move up. Why? Because we know that when we are gonna move up to something else, to more features and stuff, it's gonna be hard for us to understand what kind of problem we have and stuff. Right here, without multiplayer, it's easier for us to know what's breaking and what's not breaking. Next gen terraforming, yeah, we're aiming for September for sure. We're doing some internal tests right now, so it should be good soon. So as you can see, maybe you can see, for those who have played many hours in Menyr, this is a new forest that's going to replace the forest we had before. There's many things, many reasons, and one is performance. And we think we can achieve even a better look. So yeah, it looks really cool. As you can see, you have now dead trees, you have a lot more rocks, stuff like this. It's huge. You still have like an insane detail everywhere. And I think we had a better performance for, like, on all computer we tried it. It's like a 10 FPS improvement, which is pretty good on an average of 20 to 40 FPS. Having an increase of 10 is really huge. So yeah, that's the new. I mean, like, imagine you're here and you're just like moving your tokens and stuff. This is really cool. And oh yeah, right off the bat, you can see the depth of field feature that I talked about. So right now, if you look at the center of my screen, I'm aiming somewhere on these leaves. And so everything now behind is kind of blurry. So it has this kind of camera effect. And if I'm going to aim my camera on the ground, and it's going to do the opposite. So now it's focusing on what's on the ground, and you see the depth of field on what's in front. So it's really pretty when you're just like playing. You look at this tree, everything behind is blurry, and if I do that, you can see that you can have some really pretty shots where you have some blurry stuff in the foreground, and anything you look at is going to be the focus now. Sometimes that doesn't work on leaves because we had to make some choices. Basically, on collision, it has to hit something that records as an object. But yeah, you can see that here I have this rock, and I can see the details of the rock, and everything in the background is kind of blurry. And you'll see when you have it in your hands, it's like many times, even me, we've been playing with this for like 2 weeks, I would say. And sometimes I'm just moving around, I'm like, whoa, that's pretty. And I really think it's adding to the immersion, which is, if you remember, one of the pillar of Menyr's design. So yeah, I guess I didn't plan on talking about the depth of field right off the bat, but here it is. So that's something that's available in the next update. And I think you can deactivate it in the options. So if you don't like it, if it's acting up on you, or you want something that is clear, a little bit more like, when you play Divinity or Baldur's Gate, which is, I would say, when you were going to play Menyr with tokens and stuff and move tokens around, it's probably the way most of people are going to move people around and stuff. And there you can have some trouble with it. So you can deactivate it if you want. It's not necessary to have it. Yeah, much more cinematic feel. Yeah, that's what I thought. What else do I have? So I'm gonna check out stuff that I talked about. So I had the DOF. Oh yeah, and you can see it too on when you use the dice. So for example, I'm just preparing the dice I want to throw, and you can see it's doing some focus on the dice, and then everything behind is kind of blurry. And then when you throw the dice, it goes back to aiming at anything you have in the middle. And I think it looks really slick, and we're pretty happy about it. So you can't hear, but right now I'm walking, and there's my footsteps in the background. We spent about like an hour and a half today trying to have the sound of my voice and the sound of Menyr at the same time in the stream, but we have issues with Discord. We tried. I'm using OBS right now, but we have such a hard time. Like, we can make it work, but my voice is all wonky and stuttery and stuff. So right now we're back to I can demo, but I don't have the sound of the game. You can hear it through my microphone. Okay. You can hear the birds. All right. So yeah, I don't know what you think about the new forest. I really think it's gorgeous, and again with a huge perf improvement. We have increased, the kind of irregularities you can have. So right here you have kind of a clearing, and sometimes you have like a deep forest like this, and it's a lot more varied, I would say, from the last version we had. And so that's something that's really cool. What else? What do I have? So I'm going to show you two things at the same time, I guess, because I have new assets and I also have new controls. So I think it's a great opportunity to show both. So I'm going to try to find place. All right, toolbox loading is now instantaneous. We had a lot of people having a lot of issues, you remember. Sometimes it took 2 minutes, sometimes 3 minutes and stuff. It should be now fully fixed. So anything that is new, I think we have like one new asset in the crafted department, but it's all in natural. And in natural, you can see a lot more stuff. So you have pile of stones, you have some rocks and branches and twigs. You have some stuff like this, and you have a lot of saplings and oak trees and stuff like this. So when you have large, for example, when you see large, usually it's going to be like a big tree, like this one. I kind of spoiled it, but yeah. As you can see now, anything that is dropped can be selected. And now that I have selected it, I can finally do what you were waiting for for a long time, which is moving stuff around. I can snap it back right here. Remember, it's important to understand that what we're showing you here is the building mode. So when Menyr is going to be fully done, you'll build maps in this mode. And then we'll have a play mode, which will not have the same commands, and won't even have the same UI. So right now, everything you see looks a little bit like it's aimed for control, and it's on purpose. So you have the rotate. I'm going to show you on a smaller asset actually, and I'm going to take a crafted because it's easier to see. Let's take just a cage like this. So you have three what we call gizmos. So you have this one, which is translate, move. You have the rotation. You have the scale. And every mode has this kind of ball in the center. The looks of it, we went for functionality. The looks of it is going to change later. We're going to have something that is going to be pretty and stuff. For now, we just want it to be usable and to be user-friendly in terms of usage. But later on, it's going to be pretty. So in this mode, you can slide in the 3 axes. You can also combine axes. So this one and this one, if I click here, so it's going to move left and right. This one is going to be, in front of me and also in the Z axis, which means the height. And this one is going to slide it on a. It's like if it's on a paper. And at any time, if I click this ball right here, it's going to snap back. So it's going to do the same effect as when I drag and drop from the toolbox. So it's something you're used to if you've played Menyr even a little bit. So you take it and it snaps back. So you can see right now I don't have to worry about if I'm on it or not. So I can lift it up. I press a button, so it's R, and I can rotate it. And now if I press that, it's going to snap back now, but it's going to snap depending on the rotation I've chosen. So it's really convenient. I press R, so now I can scale it up. So when you're used to it, it's really quick to start and move stuff around. So that's pretty cool. What else? Oh yeah, and I think this outside ring is the camera rotation. So what it means is, depending on how I'm looking at the object, is going to rotate. So it's going to rotate left compared to me. If I go on the left side of the object, you're going to see that it's going to rotate depending on how I look at it. It can be very, very useful sometimes. You can see. And I think this outer ring is kind of 360 around the axis point. So yeah, basically that's it for the gizmo, the transformation tool. But I'm going to show you something that is even better. Not even better. It's another cool stuff that comes with it. So let's say I'm gonna put a few assets, a bench, a boat. So it's kind of doesn't make sense, but it doesn't have to. Oh, that's the new asset. I think the brazier. It's a little brazier here. So I'm gonna take this one. So when it's green, it's selected. When it's blue, it's selectable. So meaning, if you remember, everything that is procedurally generated cannot be moved. For now, we are thinking about maybe in another life to be able to even go back on what's been generated procedurally, but it involves quite a lot of technology, so we're not committing to it right now. But if you want to know, like, oh, this one was something that I dropped, so now you can move it and stuff. So now it's green, means it's selected. Blue, not selectable. Oh, this one is blue, so it's selectable. We're not, again, everything looks, so we're not sure about the colors and stuff, the color schemes, but it's not too important at this time. So what I can do is also I press Control and I can select multiple assets, as you can see here. And it's doing something very weird, and I don't know why. Oh, it's probably because of these assets been added. Oh yeah, I think I took the only asset that has a problem. I can talk in length about this, but I think I'll tell you why. I think it's an asset that we're making tests on. So later on, not now, you'll have this asset, you can select it, but if you double click in it, you're going to be able to select the multiple assets, and you can move separate parts. Okay, so we're making tests, as you can see here. This is separate from this, and you can move it. Okay, it's not intended to, so you can take the whole thing or you can take a part of it, and you can move the parts around and stuff. So don't get excited, because it's not supposed to be available now, but it's something that's going to come kind of soon. Okay, but I'm gonna show you what I wanted with this. So I select two objects, so now they're both of them are green. I'm gonna go to move, so you can see I can move them like this. And if I press Alt and I move on another direction, I duplicate. If I rotate, I can duplicate also. And so now I have all my objects. So I can reselect. I can reselect one here to so they're not inside. But you're like, so this is annoying because I'm gonna have to either select them, put them, or because if you're on a slope, you're gonna have to make a complicated thing. So select them all, and if you select this ball, you remember, which snaps on the ground, it snaps everything on the ground, regardless of the slope. So now you can have you can duplicate so many assets, and if you select them all, you can have them snap to the ground. So I know what probably 90% of the crowd right now is asking themselves. So is it possible to make a selection? Because you're seeing me click, 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 click. Yes, it's coming. We're gonna have you can drag and have a rectangle, a selection rectangle. It's not in. We're on it. It's gonna be quick. But you can see you have all these objects that are off the ground, and if you click, now they're all snapped to the ground. So it's extremely convenient because you can then make some pretty cool stuff. Another thing is so if I click on shift, and I select any of these axes, you can see that I'm moving with my object. So it's very cool because right here I probably took my objects from over there. It's maybe not a kilometer away, but it's pretty far. And you can see that in a second I just went a little bit hard on my mouse, and now it's good. And I can snap it back on the ground. And here it is. I moved all these boats from here to here, and now everything's on the ground. It's snapped perfectly, depending on the rotation I wanted them to have, because you can put that, and it will snap to the ground whatever the rotation you have. So do the boats float? No, not yet. So yeah, I think the whole gizmo thing control is really gonna step up anyone building possibilities. And that's really cool. So if you don't want to have the blue thing, maybe you don't use it too much. Oh, you've seen? I was right here and I'm like, oh, it's kind of pretty because of the depth of field. You can see the paint on the boat, and you can see the blurry background. It's really pretty. And so you can see the details. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, you have a few modes. When you right click, you pop the menu. You have 3 modes here in the lower part of my screen. And remember that the blue, green, and stuff is available when you are in the hand tool. If you click on 2, which is the pen tool, and you hover over an item, it's not going to do that. So sometimes if you just want to go around and stuff and you don't want to have the blue thing flashing, you just change the mode. Be careful though, it means that you have something like a road or a pen or a zone under the mouse. But yeah, this is something depending on the use of people, we're gonna change that in the future. But yeah, for now, first mode, moving stuff. Now you have the gizmo. Press R to change stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's pretty cool. What do you think, guys? All right, everything shiny, everything looks beautiful, fantastic. All right, I can't read everything in details, but I like what I can see at a glimpse. All right, so I guess that's That's it. Gizmo, I wanted to show you. That's done. New assets. There's one I want to show you, but uh, in another place. Advanced weather, waves. All right, a couple of things I wanted to say. We have DLSS 3 available now at the new update. So basically, if you have an NVIDIA card, you can use DLSS. So it's an AI technology that makes it kind of it creates frames. So if you have like, let's say 20 FPS, it can create in between frames, so it augments the kind of smoothness of your experience. If you put it too high, it's gonna start to act up a little bit, but it's really cool. And so this is available for every 2000 something cards. So if you have like a 270, you can have DLSS 2 and stuff. And starting at the fourth generation, I think Vince maybe can correct me on this, but I think on fourth generation you have DLSS 3, and it's available right now in the update. And for its pretty recent card, even I don't have it. I have a 3800 Ti, and so I don't have DLSS 3. And for AMD people, we have FSR, which is kind of the equivalent of DLSS, and it was not available until now. So if you have a FSR ready graphic card from AMD, you now have probably a lot better experience. You're gonna have a lot better experience on Menyr also. Yep. Mm. All right, Vince is explaining the whole stuff, so I'll leave into that. So DLSS, FSR, auto login, instant toolbox. That was kind of the little things we wanted to work on, because it's really quality of life improvements. And now I'm going to show you some different things on another map. So I'm going to show you. So this forest again, this is what you're going to have now as a default forest. Beautiful, better performance overall, and so we're really happy about it. And what I'm going to show you now is another biome. It's and a crash. So you can see a crash right here in front of you. We have a crash report. This is a crash report made by Vince. You can even see the FPS on the crash report. So yeah, I'm going to show you another biome, and it's going to be pine forest. So pine forest is going to be more like montaigne. We're in the end we're going to have several forest biomes, because forest can mean very different environments. So yeah, basically pine, it's going to be more foresty. The one you saw is broadleaves. It's kind of oaks and stuff. So it's more like, plains, kind of European forests. And we're gonna have a couple others. I think we're gonna have red tree, the big giant thing in California. Which one is it? Red oak? No, redwood. Yeah, we're gonna have redwood. Giant sequoia and stuff. So redwood forests. We're gonna have jungle at some point, and I think we're gonna have something more. Like Australian forest or something like this. But we're not going to do only forest, mind you. So I have to reset. I have to reset Steam again. Oh, this is a problem. It didn't act like this. It's the kind of what is it, like the demo curse? It's like every time you demo something, everything breaks. I think it's happening to me too often. All right, so Steam is off. Oh, I'm gonna do that actually when I crash, so you can see me maybe too much, but at least you don't see me just like rebooting stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have several forests. Then we have a desert we're working on. So like a real desert, like dunes and stuff with oasis style trees. Then we're gonna have plains. So we really want to have beautiful plains that look a little bit like the Ireland or Scotland kind of grasslands with rocks everywhere. Not something too. We really want something natural. We don't want to go into the what we call manufactures, like made by men stuff. Because, for example, we will have, it's not biomes, but when we're going to have man-made stuff, you're going to have fields, and you can have huge fields land, like as far as the eye can see. But we don't consider it to be nature stuff. And we really want to tackle things one by one. So first, nature, and then we improve upon it, and then we're going to come with the manufacturer stuff. So as you can see, no login. I didn't lie. You saw it. I think I showed it in time. So there's no login for me. And if I go, oh yeah, it's here. So you have disconnect on the bottom left. So if let's say a friend comes and you have like another version. So right now it doesn't matter if you have a version, you have the same. But later on we're gonna have multiplayer, and you're gonna have your own stuff. It's going to be interesting. You can disconnect, a friend can connect and stuff. But it fits on your computer, which is going to be the majority of the use you're going to have. You're going to auto connect. So I'm going to create a new one. So I'm always using the same theme, as you can see, and it's really because it's I know I'm going to have something that looks good, but you can put any number there. So conifer. Oh. Question for the chat. We kind of wondered. My team put conifer forest, and I don't know why, but I had a feeling there was conifers. Maybe it's American or English or something, or maybe it's the same. Maybe it's. What would you American people here in the chat say? Conifer. Okay. So that's good. Sapin. Sapin. I think it's French. Coniferous forest. Okay, I guess it's just like it doesn't. It's not too important, but just wanted to know. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff where it doesn't matter really. Okay. So you'll see it's very different. The looks of it, and just the size of the trees is quite higher. I used the medium map this time. Oh, and I have this bug. So we're working on this bug. You see me every time I reboot, I have to go back into the controls, and this move up has changed. We know the problem, and we know exactly how to fix it. So it's going to be fixed before we send the update. That's the kind of stuff we want to fix before we send the update. That's why you don't have it now. So look at that. Ain't that pretty? Look at this with the depth of field. Beautiful coniferous forest. I mean, can you imagine? You can generate as many of that as you want. And all of that for a VTT. I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of what the team has been working on. I think it's really awesome. Oh yeah, something I wanted to talk about is the fact that right now, you one biome, one map. Later on, obviously, we wanna be doing the merging, so where you can. At first, we wanted to have it painted, and you can even see it, I think, on the Kickstarter video, and you would get kind of painted zones, and then it would adapt the biome. The technology we're using now kind of prevents us to do that. So, and this is why we have zones. Like this one, where you can go, you can still do it. I mean, like it's a biome, right? So it works well. For example, there's like a lot of rocks here and a lot of trees, and you're like no trees, low vegetation, no rocks, and just paint your zone. Update foliage. You can see also. Oh yeah, so we are also working on the stroke. As you can see now, it's a little bit better looking, but it's also kind of ghosty, and it's a little weird. So we're working on this, and you can see it works perfectly. And now it's kind of a clearing in a pine forest. Looks really good, if you ask me. So now I wanted to show you a second thing, because it works a lot more in this forest than the other ones. The snow. So watch out. because you're gonna see the snow coming first, and then it's gonna elevate. Look at this. And now it's a shame you don't have the sound because you can hear the the sound of the footsteps. It looks amazing. Honestly, it's like it really gives like instantly. It gives such a good look. It really looks like a forest, a winter forest. I mean, I love to hike in the forest when it's snowy in the winter, and it's really something I was really happy to see this way. Really looks awesome. Brings the chill, yeah. And if you put the blizzard, it's it's really scary, and it really looks like a well, it looks like you don't want to be there. That's for sure, but it really looks really cool. And you remember the trees acting up also. We're working on that. So with the wind, the trees are not doing weird stuff. And as you can see, it works a lot better on this one already. It's bent, but it's supposed to be, and you can see some movements in the trees, but you don't have like trees making kind of 90 degrees angles and stuff like we used to before. So yeah, really looks awesome. Again, shame you don't have the sound because you have the whole SFX that comes with it. We are working on the SFX too, please. Again, like that's a lot of stuff we're gonna implement. And I want to show you something else. Turn down the wind. No, I'm just gonna turn down the sound because it's just bothering me, but not you. So if I put the wind to the maximum, and so you can see, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I can. All right, here I think we can see. I want a little bit of light. So you can see that there's some snow on this tree, right? There's no snow here, right? Do you see where I'm going with this? So basically now you have advanced options. And so you have the wind again, max wind. And if you change the orientation of the wind, it changes where the snow is going on the tree, you see? So here it's the wind is from my back. And if I move here, the wind is from my right. And then from here, the wind's on my left. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And again, kudos to all my tech team. They are pure magicians. And it again, it's the little things, but in the in the overall, I think it makes a difference, and it's really gonna make for amazing, RPG sessions. I mean, like, again, I always go back to, I imagine I have characters right here, I have my tokens and stuff, and because as a GM, that's what I want. I want to put my players there, and it's in a few seconds. I mean, like if I instantly I want to go there, sunset. It's that's it. Sunset in the pine forests. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't want this. I like these god rays, but I want them another way. You have the orientation of the wind. This is the orientation of the wind, but you also can change the astral angle, which an astral means it's sun and moon. So you can see I can change the sun is here, and I can absolutely move the sun anywhere, and it really acts on the shadows. I mean, like everything is Unreal Engine 5, magic thing. So it's really cool, and instantaneously you have all this. So now it's limited because it's early beta, and it's only one biome. It's only on small islands and stuff. Like imagine when we're gonna have like huge maps, cities, villages, all procedural, and you can drag and drop anywhere. I think it's gonna be exciting. Because yeah, we tend to forget, but the scale of the tokens is they're pretty small. So yeah, this is it. This is gonna be how you play your favorite RPG soon. All right. Oof, I have a load of questions. Last thing. I think it's the last. Advanced weather. Oh, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna just finish my presentation. I'm gonna read all questions. So, advanced weather. You can have clouds, wind, fog. It's already in Storyteller, but orientation of the wind. You can see it has an effect. Aurora borealis. I don't know how to say it really in English, but oh, I did something. I'll show you why. I'll explain why. So, Aurora borealis. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, we got to put this note for that. With a little bit of fog. No, not too much. And it's volumetric aurora. So if it's above you, you're gonna really see it. It's not just in the back. It's 3D borealis. It really moves and stuff. Really pretty. So you have that. I can turn it off. Then it's gonna disappear. Astral color. So a lot of people have been asking, you want a red moon, people? I think you want a red moon. So red moon. And now everything's red. Because obviously the astral color acts on the whole light system. So it's really light coming from the sky. So if you change the astral color, for sure it's gonna change. You see everything's green now and stuff. Blood moon. We've been asked also, can we have two moons and stuff? So two moons is going to be different. You will be able later on to change basically the sky dome, the sky texture, but you will never have two light sources. So if you have, let's say, you have a texture with a moon and another one, you have to decide like this moon is going to be the light source, and this is the one that's going to cast the global light. We can have two global lights multiplying. It will absolutely wreck the perf, and for no reason. If you have a blue and a green, and you want a purple, you just put purple light and that's it. You know, it's the additional whatever. So yeah, and this is natural light. Up a little bit like this. All right. So do we have something else? Astral color, astral angle. So works on the sun, absolutely works on the moon too. So you can change, and you can see it also casts light on the pines. So you can see here you have this. Pines right here. I can't get the zoom. Sometimes the zoom is a little bit tricky to have, but usually, yeah, there it works pretty well. You can see the bark and the snow on the side that I decided, and everything in the back is kind of blurry. Sorry. What else? Time, speed, time, and then the moon phase. But I think you already saw that. So moon phase, you can decrease the moon phase. You can augment the size, so you can have like a pretty big moon. It also has an effect on the lighting, the global lighting. Again, it's really not just a texture of a moon. It's, as you can see right here, it's like everything is very dark because I phased the moon. If I phase it up, you can see now that the people are kind of fully lit. Reminds me of yesterday night. I don't know if some of you have been outside. Yesterday at some point I couldn't sleep, and I was like, went down, didn't close the shutters. I was like, is there's something outside or something? It was full moon yesterday, that's why, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I think that's it for advanced weather. We'll add some more stuff later on, but for now, it really looks good for us. What else do we have? Oh yeah, and when you change to this kind of view, you remember this is the I call it the Divinity view, but it's basically the top view where you play as Baldur's Gate or Divinity, and we have played with the depth of field also, and as you can see, it's made for quick, very slick rendering, and if you zoom with a scroll, you can go very low, but it's capped, and if you unzoom, it's capped too. So it's an easy way to, I guess, when you're doing battles and stuff, it's a very easy way to have a good battle look on your map. And then if you press there, you're back where you were aiming. So if you were aiming on the ground like I was, you're going to be back here. All right. What else do I have? Advanced weather. No. Oh yeah, I have this. I'm going to go there. So something that has been asked was to change the water. You will have full control of the water later on. But in the meantime, we've been doing some tweaks. So we have reduced a little bit the foam. It was too much. But also, it reacts to the wind. So you can see now, it's a very calm, quiet water. But if you improve, augment the wind, you're going to have more waves. It's going to be more and more wavy until it's agitated water. So right now it's a little bit shallow in terms of how much, but it's also because we don't want to have crazy results on the shore. We don't want to have crazy results on the waves and stuff. But for now, it's pretty cool because when you right off the bat, if you put this and you have like very little wind, you have a very quiet, you see, shore on a pine tree. And if you put a snowstorm, instantly it's gonna be a lot more wavy. Is it making me lie? No, wind. Oh yeah, I don't know why it didn't connect. So yeah, that's the principle of what we're trying to do. Same for the thunder storm. Yeah, now thunderstorms are looking better than ever. It's really awesome. All right, I think that's all I had. Do I have something else? Oh yeah, one last thing. I had this, and it's a special shout out to someone in the stream, in the Discord channel yesterday that asked for something, and Vince, I gotta give him the credit, said, "Hold my beer." So what was it? It's something that people want during the night. Did I break it? I broke it. So I'm going to take a minute to explain because a lot of you are going to use it. So you can see sometimes you have this kind of bug. You have some lights and stuff. It comes from Unreal Engine. I'm not going to throw them under the bus. It's an amazing engine that I have only good things to say, but it's just like some things we are limited to that because and the how the Lumen technology works, it's their lighting system. It's extremely cool because it works like with light rebounds and stuff, so it makes for extremely realistic lighting. But when you do stuff like, oh, it's nighttime and now it's daytime, it's based on real Lumen data, and so you're gonna see if I go from night to day, it's gonna flash and like this. It goes and boom, and it just like blinds me, and it's like actually representing what would happen in real life if you were in the middle of the night and you're just like chilling outside, and at some point I click a button and boom, you're in the middle of the day. You would be blinded, and you would be blinded for a lot longer. And before we tweaked some settings, it was like just white screen for a little while. It was kind of crazy. And so the same happens when you go from light to dark. It's less realistic in terms of what it does on the screen, but it is coming from the same principle. Why is the wind? The wind is acting up. We're gonna fix this. And so the same things happen when if you look too many things, it's calculating all the light rebounds everywhere, and so when you put the night, it will have this kind of shiny effect. So to circumvent that, what I do, and I advise you to do that until we find a solution, like at some point we'll find a solution, but I go on the ground and I look at the ground. Now I put the night, it does its stuff in the back, and if I look up, there's no problem. And there is, it makes me lie. So usually it's way better. Sometimes you can have the whole forest is lit up, and it does make it better. It's not perfect, as you can have seen, but right now I have this. Like sometimes if you're like in the sky and you're putting the you're putting the camera and you change it and stuff, it can last for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, quite annoying. So it's the night. It's a foggy night, right? There's a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, not too much. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's pretty. I like it. And so I'm going back to what was asked yesterday. A campfire. So you now have your campfire. Don't mind it's a little red. We're gonna fix it before we send the the update. But as you can see, like in a few seconds, just being in this coniferous forest with a little bit of fog, a little bit of snow, maybe. Look at that. Isn't it a good beginning of a session? You all wake up and you hear some sound in the forest. You gotta explore. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you. I guess that's a good roundup. I've been talking for an hour almost. Gee, Zeus. So I think that's it. I'm gonna just check my list. Yeah. So I think it's a pretty decent update from the team, and I want to really I see a lot of them in the chat right here. So I wanna thank you guys all very much for all your hard work. I'm very proud of where we are right now, and I'm sure you can see from the reaction of people that I'm not the only one to be happy with the work that's being done. So amazing work from the team. This is only the beginning. We're really gonna update this program constantly for the year to come before release. It's gonna be amazing. So questions. I need some camera tracking for recording video in game. Is it possible? No. Right now what you can do, I don't have it on me, but you have controller support. So basically instead of having just this going forward and stuff, and because you can go there, and with the mouse wheel you can reduce speed. Okay, it's not working. You should, but with the controller you can make some smooth movements and stuff. I guess that's the best you can have. Will they be wildlife with some of the terrain? We would love to, but it's very costly. Why? Because you need to have good assets for it. Wildlife usually have feathers of fur because we don't want to have like this kind of solid sculpted assets, because it's a little bit less Gen-y. And so if we implement it, we want to have like a very good looking ones, and it's of course, and obviously it's time and effort from the team. We don't think it's a priority right now, but at one point, if we can have some deer and rabbits and stuff going around and even moving, like, you know, having this kind of behavior when you approach and they flee and stuff, obviously that's something we dream about. Not for now, for sure. Does depth of field deactivate when you go to tactical view? Is that an option we could set up? I guess I kind of answered earlier when I showed that if you go on tactical view, which is this one, flash, you have the depth of field. So the answer is no, it doesn't deactivate. But you can, if you deactivate it in the options, you don't have it in any view. So you don't have it there. I think it looks really cool when you have this, and when you approach something in the foreground, it kind of takes the the focus out. I don't know. You can deactivate it all or have it like this. Should change dice validate the roll? I am not sure what you mean. Change dice. So when I like this, when launching. Oh, to roll. Yeah, roll. I guess. Yeah, good one. Roll instead of validate is good one. Team, take note. Would a DM be on build mode while player go into play mode? No. You can. I mean, no. I don't think so. This is not how we're designing it. But basically, you can have co-op building. So you can be building and you can be building a camp here, and co-DM can be, like terraforming in the back, and another one can be making a city over there. So this is something that's going to be available as soon as the multiplayer is online. So it's something that will be available. But when you want to play, you're going to play. It's really going to be two separate modes. And during the play, you will have some control over the terrain, but not all of them. For example, I do believe we're going to deactivate the terraforming. It doesn't mean that you cannot have any changes, but it will have to be made before. For example, you have the terrain right there, and you want to have, I don't know, like a crater. So basically, you're going to be able to create a layer, a little bit like in Photoshop. You make your crater, and you save it as another layer. And so in-game, you can swap from one to the other instantly. And so you can show what you've been doing. But like digging a crater while you're playing, I don't think it's going to be available. We're going to give you more detail when we're going to have the separate play styles, but for now it's not really what we're going for. Is there a back to default options for the assets? Only reset the rotation and size? That's a good one. We don't right now, but I like it. No, we don't for now. Because yeah, that's true. At some point you might have something that's too messed up. I guess you can, yeah, like this, for example. It's kind of messed up. It's a good one. I think it would be worth it to have maybe a button somewhere. I guess right now the best would be to re-drag and drop, because we don't have that many assets, so it's not too hard to not be lost. But yeah, I guess in the future it would be better to have an option to reset. Good one. For point of interest, will they make cinematics a lot later? So for now you have this cinematic one. So you can change the camera angle. You can do that. If you press F, it will focus anywhere where you have the center. So it's really the best way to have the most beautiful screenshots. This is what I use when I do, social media posts and stuff like this. You can see I just like went down a little bit, and with a 46mm camera, it looks gorgeous already, and it has the depth of field that is even looking better than the one you have when you're in game, I believe. So for now we have this photo mode. We're going to improve it a little bit, but we're going to keep it like this because we think the feature is already pretty good. And we plan on having cinematic / we know people want to kind of do machinima and stuff. That's something we're interested in, but it's extremely complicated because anything with animation, you need the animation keys. You need to have the curves so you can have acceleration and stuff on the camera. We can't really, unless we find something that we can plug and play onto Menyr. It's something we're gonna do in a long time. I'll be honest, but it's on our list. It's not something we're like no. There are some features people ask, we're like no, we're not gonna do that. But this one is kind of on the list, but I wouldn't expect it before after a public release. Can we see the scaling of PC token? Of course. Hello, criminals. I think it's pretty big. I think we can say it is pretty big, right? And because also you can do the opposite. Hello. Oh, look at him next to the pine cone. You can play like this, I guess. If at some point you wanna, oh yeah, to plan some attacks and stuff, you can make some doodles on the ground, and you can have some minis like this, and you can no, you attack on the left. No, I tell you on the right. This kind of stuff. I like it. Never thought of it. Will I be able to move assets mid game? Yes. So that's what I was saying. Like there's some stuff you cannot do, but there's some stuff you will be able to do. Obviously, moving stuff around. So if you want to move a city, no. If you want to move a house, I don't see why not. I think it's probably more a technical question. So maybe Vince can pitch in. Yeah, I think he's typing already. Maybe you can possess when it's small. Oh, gee. Oh, I didn't think of that. So we can possess. Yeah. So now I'm. Is it my camera? Oh, yes. It works. It works. I am exactly my token. I didn't know. This is so cool. I didn't know. This is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, when we told you that you can possess, it's real. It's you can really. What's the key to unpossess? There's a key. I don't remember. Yeah, possess the giant. Of course, that's what I want to do. No, it's not T. I see you, Albert. I see you. You're trying. You're trying to break my game. I can deposit. Can I possess this one though? Oh no. Was this a normal one? What do you mean? So vise le socle. Oh yeah. No, it doesn't work. Oh, because I'm in. Oh yeah, that's it. I was in the mode I told you about. I was in pen mode because I didn't want the blue thing. So. Oh, it's working. Hello, boys. Oh no, it doesn't work. I don't know if you've seen in a split second, the foot went on the ground, so I think it kind of broke. What am I doing? Where is it? Okay, I broke it. Um, we'll make it so it works. And so, in case you're wondering, this is multiplayer ready. And so if when I was possessing the small one, if someone was in the game, it would see me walking. It's not just the camera; it's really the character moving. You've seen it in the Kickstarter video. You can see the characters moving and stuff. So you can see it. Where is it? I don't even know. Can we find it? No, it's gone. Yeah, there's an issue with the giant one and stuff, but yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. For selection, maybe a circle/sphere selection, selecting things in a certain radius. Yeah. Yeah, we're thinking, first of all, we're going to do a simple one, which is the square. And if you click Control, you can add to the square. So with 2 squares, you can have a pretty good selection. And if you don't want something, you press Control, and then you just click on one thing you want to take away from the selection. We're going to have something on the selection. We're also working on the outliner, so basically the list of the assets you have drag and dropped, so you can teleport to it and stuff. Maybe it might not come soon, but we know it's important, and it's not too late on the list. It's something. It's not high priority because right now we're more, testing. But soon, when you're gonna be able to do pretty complex map, you're gonna need that. So we know we're on it. Can you show the snow on the rotated objects? Yes, I do. So, so as you can see, there's snow on the fireplace, and so I'm not sure it's gonna work right now, but it should. So I'm going for it. So basically, our system makes it that the snow falls on any flat surface. And so if I move, theoretically, the snow should move with it. Gold. It did work. So if I put it up, you can see that snow is now on the top, and it's not on anything that is not a flat surface. So it's a little bit hard to see now, but yeah, you can see it on the... you can see it actually right here. And so it's automatic, and we've been talking about this, this procedural material technology we have. And this is extremely important for immersion. It was very important that we do that at the beginning. So now everything we plug in the game is going to work. And as you can see, I'm like, is it working? Yes, it is. Because it was, if I can say, well made. And so any object if you rotate, then the snow is going to be on the top, and it's not going to be on there. So it works for snow, but we have another weather that will be done later, which is dust, for example. And you also have dust that goes into the crevices, and it's really cool. And it goes with this. And I think it might also adapt to the wind direction and stuff. Will it be... I think it was the question. If the person that asked it can validate, I think it was the question. And I can show it on something like the barrel, maybe. You can see the snow is on the top and not on the bottom. All right, cool. Snap on the ground. But there's snow, so of course you can see the barrel. Can we customize snow depth on the ground? Not for now. For now, it's going to be that. It's about between the knee and the ground. So it's not half leg, but half tibula, I guess. And we'll see if we can give control maybe later. But for now, it's going to be there. Would we be able to change color on assets and trees? Not sure. Probably, but not sure. What we have is... Wait, can I show that? No, I can't. We'll have the seasons, you remember? So if you put autumn, it's gonna be brownish and yellow, and you have dead leaves on the ground. If it's winter, trees that lose their leaves will be leafless and stuff. Not like this, because pine trees don't lose their needle, at least not that much, and stuff like this. Will the fire melt snow around it or flicker light made mad when it's raining or windy? So adapting to the wind, yes, and the fact that it's melting snow around, I believe it was a yes. God no, please no, says Vince. Oh, to planet generator, okay. So yeah, the fact that you have a fire going somewhere and it's melting the snow, I think it's something that I heard Vince actually say that it would be possible. So I guess it is. Will you improve the world size? Generate a big one doesn't seem bigger than a village. So yes, and it depends on the biome. So right now, a large world is still, I think it's 2 kilometers diameter or radius. Maybe Vince can validate, and maybe someone can do the conversion in miles. But it's pretty big. I mean, like if you compare to, I don't want to do this comparison stuff, but if you compare to other, map maker, I believe it's pretty huge. 1,000 diameter or radius? Okay, so it's a kilometer. It's about a kilometer diameter. So it's 500 meters. So it's already pretty good. And yeah, it's village size for sure. But it's not going to be the end. For sure, we're going to improve that. First of all, like, for example, when we have the desert biome, we have one that is in the works. The small desert desert, because of the number of assets, it's basically this. It's basically the complexity of the biome makes it so we can improve the size, because the ground doesn't cost anything in terms of performance, but it's everything you put in it. As you can have seen, like it's just a lot of pine cones and leaves and stuff. If you want to have a map looking like this, you need to have thousands, millions of assets. And so on the desert biome we have, basically the small one, the small sized desert, is the actual large forest one. So you can imagine the large one is mind-blowing already. And it's not even the and it's not my final form. It's not even the biggest we're gonna do later on. The new terraforming tech we're working on is gonna be a huge change in the whole Menyr engine, I guess. We've been waiting for that. And why are we working on this tech and stuff? Basically, the tech is being done by another company, not just for us. It's a company. It's called Voxel, and they're working on the second generation of the engine, of their engine, their procedural terraforming generator and stuff. And they've been working on it for a while. They had some setbacks, so it's taking a little bit of delay and stuff. And so we had a choice at the beginning of the year. You know, when we did the rework, we're like, okay, what are we doing? First of all, we weren't sure we would go there because we had other options, but in the end we selected this one. But we're like, okay, are we gonna wait for the thing to get out so we can, piggyback on it, and then? But it would mean that you wouldn't have the beta in your hands right now, or even back in June, even less. So it's supposed to be good. Like, we have an internal version, so we are working on it already. If not, it would be delayed too much. But we're working on it, and when it comes, it will have huge effects on the whole engine. Sorry, I'm starting to lag a little bit. Ability to save and name some weather combination. Yes, it will come later on. And basically you will be able to do a very complex option. You can even like change the astral color and angle and wind and fog and you save it, and you'll have, like, I think here somewhere, you'll have your presets. It will be your presets. You can also put them in the hotbar. So from 1 to 9, you can drag and drop and stuff like this. I think you can. No, you can. At some point, we could even like drag and drop this, for example, and put it there. So you can press 4, and it would just trigger the thing. So it's planned, of course. Tide rising with bigger moons. Oof. Please, guys, be nice to us. Tsunami, no. Frozen lake, yes. Frozen lakes, yes. So again, technological difficulties we have from having 2 different water source. So for now, everything is the ocean. So we have 1 water source, and that's it. And we're trying to find the best way to have another one, let's say a lake here, that doesn't have the same settings as the ocean. So basically we want to have the ocean that is wavy, and we want to have calm lakes, and we have the color of the ocean shouldn't be the same as the lake. If it's a lake in the mountains, should be very, glacier water style, and the ocean should be like more a bit muddy, unless it's on, paradisiac islands and stuff. Right now we're kind of making something that is kind of pretty, but it's not realistic, and we didn't work too much at all on the underwater. You're gonna have some post-process on the screen later on. You're gonna have some particles floating. At some point we might have floating objects and stuff, and you'll have better water overall. But for now, this is what we're gonna have. It's just one water body. So are you planning on working with publisher like Paizo to integrate content role set in the roadmap? Yes, absolutely. We have contacted people in the past. We have had a lot of interest from many, but we feel like there is a time for everything, and right now it's clearly the calm before the storm in terms of Menyr overall. If I can summarize, I mean, like, everyone here is you're on the Discord channel, you're talking to us and stuff, so you are probably the most excited people about Menyr on the planet. I'm very glad that you're here, and thank you very much, everyone. But basically, right now, as you can see, it's kind of bare bones on. We don't even have VTT functions and stuff, and it's not the right time to go and call Paizo. We've contacted them before; they didn't answer, but I believe at some point they had like so much going on that they couldn't really answer. We contacted D&D, we contacted Chaosium. Like, we have contacted many people, but when we contacted them, it was pre-Kickstarter, and they were like, looking from afar, and like a lot of people, they're like, we've seen many of you, many like you, promising the world, and we'll see how it goes. When the Kickstarter rose 600K, a lot of people took us more seriously, but they're still like, oh, we'll see. Because again, the Star Citizens out there, like you can have 500 millions literally and still have a game that is not out. And I absolutely understand from their point of view that they're like, the day you have something that works and it's used by people, we'll talk. And even let's say one of the editor sit downs with us. We don't have leverage. We don't, not as much as we would like, because we believe that Menyr is going to be huge. We believe it's going to be something very unique, and I think you too, because you've been backing us. But right now, they're like, how many people do you have? We have the backers, and that's it. We believe that in a year's time, when the engine is going to be a lot better. I mean, like, look at how it was 2 months ago and how it is today. Imagine it more than a year. And when we're going to have that, and it's going to be released to public, and we're going to have how many thousands more downloads, I think if we come to Paizo, we're like, okay, we have XYZ number of people. They're all excited. We really want to have Pathfinder somehow plugged in and stuff. Like, have the rule set, official one, and you can even plug your own stuff. And there's a lot of conversation to have, but there's the right time to have it. So right now we're like, basically working, but working on the engine is the best we can do instead of running on deals and have no leverage and stuff like this. It's a little bit of an inside thing I'm telling, but I think it's interesting, and it's really honest. It's really open. Even if there's someone from Paizo here in the chat, it could be. It's like we contacted. We didn't really have an answer, but we're open to discussion anytime. Right now, it's not the time for us to rattle cages and really be like, okay, now we need to sit down with people. It will come, though. How is the project tracking to release Q4 2023? So it's not planned to release Q4 2023, but 2024. So it's for next year. And for now, it's good. The delay we have is like multiplayer was planned for this month. It's sliding a month. But it's because we're putting somewhere in its place. Like I said, I've talked about the technology for terraforming, and basically this has accelerated. So we're like, okay, this is so important for the whole world building mechanisms. We're gonna put that in the front, and now it's done, and so people can test it, break it, and we know you know how to break things, guys, and we thank you for it. And so we need you to break that before we go into something like multiplayer is going to add a lot more bugs and issues and stuff, and we would like, before we go there, to have kind of a smooth experience for people. So that's why. And on track for Q4, for now, yes, it's too far away to be perfectly honest. It's like, it looks good. We have our planning and stuff, and things are moving, and it's not like a huge delay. We see, oh my God, without 6 month delay, it's impossible. But it's impossible to know what's going to happen in more than a year, because that's kind of the deadline. What I know, though, and it's going to be also very honest, is like, in more than a year, if we're not done, we're going to have to find a solution or release what we have, because we're going to run out of money. I mean, this project has been used some of the company money before the Kickstarter, and now since the Kickstarter, we've been using the Kickstarter money. But at some point, if it doesn't generate money, it's going to be a problem. We can't do it just for the fun of it. What can we expect for monetization? Monetization, we're working on doing kind of a presentation so we can send it your way. Basically, so you can know exactly what to expect. Now, it's not going to be rocket science. It's going to be something like you have something to sell, you put it on the marketplace, we take a share. Right now, it looks like it's going to be around 30%. You can allow for bundling. So maybe, for example, you're making a house and you're like, oh, if you want to bundle my house into a village, for example, you can bundle it. And so if someone sells a house for $2 and someone makes a village for 10, the person that makes the village is gonna get $8, and the guy that makes the house is gonna get $2. So it's not gonna be. Maybe we can make some special deals with some content creators, so we can make packs. It's a little bit less expensive, but overall it's going to sell more, like going gold on video games. But this is not going to be like automatic. This is something we're going to do with you guys, and yeah, that's the basics of it. And then there's going to be the kind of the nog our marketplace, and it's going to be straightforward. There is a skin, there is this, that. Do you want to buy it? If you do, you just buy it. That's it. Is there a date for the update? I think it's in a couple days. Well, Friday, it's, let's say Monday, Tuesday, I would say. Yeah, we're doing some stuff, but we broke one or two things in the process and stuff. It's really, I mean, like what you see here on my computer is pretty solid. We don't have bugs kind of more than before, and we're pretty happy with the content. So but there are some sounds issues. We have some stuff that doesn't work. The fireplace, for example, the fire, it's small stuff, but for example, we implemented the fire, but I cannot pick it up now. So I can pick up this one, but it doesn't have collision, so I cannot pick it up. It's like small stuff, but we know that if we release it, people are going to be like, oh, I can't move the fire. We're like, we know. So it's better to take like half a day more to fix the myriads of little things we have going on. And so that's basically what's left. And then you're going to be able to have that. Will there be an open beta at the end of the beta period? Probably, yeah. It's very probable, but it's going to be at the rear end. And the reason for it is we don't want to do it too early. Because we want to control how many people have access to it, and also to respect the fact that you backed us and you paid for that. It's extremely, it was extremely, I would say, ballsy a little bit from us, dangerous, would say people, to ask people to back us to have access to a beta of something that's going to be free later on. So of course there's the whole cosmetics and stuff that you're going to have that are going to be unique to people that backed us, but also you're basically paying for a beta. And so that was incredibly risky, and yeah, people answered very positively, so we're very happy about that. But we also need to respect that. So if we do open beta in 2 months, then what what did you pay for? Yeah, again, you have the cosmetics, but still. But at the end, the very end, let's say the last month or something, we're going to want to stress test how many people can log in. Does it work? How much more problems we have and stuff like this. So we're going to need to see that. Wait, Vince is sending me a text. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, you're done. Congrats for the questions. Okay. All right, guys. What time is it? All right, an hour and a half of presentation. I think is pretty good. I thank you very much. I'm sorry, in the end, I was kind of a fixed screen, but when I'm talking, I want to focus on what I'm doing. But I think you've seen how beautiful Menyr is now. It's even better than before. And so, yeah, I want to thank you guys again for your patience and everything, and your support overall. Your patience on the update. Like I said on the update, on the Kickstarter update yesterday, there was kind of holidays for some of the team. Some it was like at the end of July. Some of us, like me, was the last 2 weeks. Not this week, but the weeks before. So now we're back on track, and we're back to working. It's going to be exciting, but as you can see, even when not everyone is there, it's still moving forward, and so it's gonna be incredible in the months to come. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoy what you see. continue with the feedback, continue with the bug report. It's helping us absolutely tremendously. So that's it. Are the goats on mountain bikes in the work? I cannot deny or approve this message. How many cheese wheel assets will we get? I have an obsessed player. Cheese wheel, I don't know. I think we have one actually. It's a good idea. All right, guys, I'm gonna tap out. I wish you an amazing day for those who are still in the middle of the day. An amazing evening for everyone around here, and thank you again to my team and to everyone that's helping me in this and working on Menyr. All right, bye. See you next time, guys.